Happy Monday and welcome to Casting the Net, Reeling in Holistic Health, where we care about your health and well-being. This is Coach Rice, your mental health life coach. And I just want to let you know to tune in every Monday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will be showing up on YouTube, my personal Facebook page, my business Facebook page, the Be Awesome Network. Super excited about posting my podcast on it every Monday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And tune in to my next guest. Check it out. It's about to happen. Stay tuned, and I'll be with you in a moment.
Welcome to Mondays with Coach Rice. It's a brand new week, the sun's shining bright, a chance to cast your net, step into the light. Life's full of challenges, it's a winding stream, but with Coach Rice, you'll find your dream.
Happy Monday and welcome to Casting the Net, where we care about your health and well-being, also your physical well-being as well. Today, I have a triple conversation that we're about to have, and I think it's going to be awesome. I met these young ladies at a mental health conference, and I was so intrigued by what they did for, what they booth had to offer, and I just wanted them to come on my show so they can show you what holistic health look like in a different way. And so today I have Dr. Cathy Wong and Jacinda McBride and Patty Nuzzo. And these three young ladies, they actually are the owners of Wild Orchid Health, where they promote patent wearable light technology patches. And they're going to tell you more about it. So I just want to first introduce each one separately. I'm going to call on their name, and I just want them to tell, just when I call, when I call your name, just let me know, let the audience know where you're from and how did you, what's the story behind you embarking upon this journey that you're on? Dr. Wong, can you start off with that?
Absolutely. And thank you again for having us on your show. This is kind of exciting for us to be able to share our story and our journey with this exciting product that we have. Anyway, we're from Northwest Indiana. Okay, I live in Munster to be exact. What got me embarking on this journey was my husband. He said, Cathy, you need to take a look at this technology. He had seen an interview with Michael Jaco, the Navy SEAL, and the owner and inventor of this technology, David Schmidt. So I took a deep dive into it and said, you know what? I've always wanted to be healthy. My husband and I have always tried to maintain our health. So we've always used juices, powders, proteins. So why not a patch? So when I went ahead and started using this technology, I just automatically had a great result, shared it with my sister Patty, and then that's when the journey began. So the technology is made to be shared. So when you see a good book, or you read a good book, or you go to a good movie, what do? You share. Well, we've had such a great result. So my husband, he's got extremely dry skin. So after about 10 months on this technology, dry skin is gone. Keloid scarring across his back that he had from acne is gone. We patched my 94-year-old mother as well, and we've seen amazing results with her. She's sharp as a tack. We've had blood pressure issues drop. We've had medication that's been cut in half or even taken away. So a lot of amazing things. And Patty's got some stories to tell too, because it's been a life-changing experience for her.
Okay, Patty, let's go. Let's hear your story. Tell us about your story.
And thank you. I have to say thank you for having us today. It's an honor. I really appreciate it. It was wonderful meeting you a few weeks ago at our event. So my name is Patty Nuzzo, and Cathy and I work together. And I also live in Northwest Indiana, and I live the next town over. But when Cathy told me about the product, I said, well, as soon as you get them, let me know. I'm going to come over. So when she got them, I hurried up and I tried them. So for me, I'm 63. I have a lot of energy. I play pickleball 3 or 4 times a week, and I can play 3-4 hours at a time. However, prior to patches, before the patches, I did not have a lot of energy. Very sedentary with my, I just wasn't very active, and I really wasn't feeling that great. But I have to tell you, after I started wearing the technology, it was about 6 months. So X39 is our go-to patch. That's the main one that helps us with our stem cells. But after I tried that in about 6 months, that is when I really had a lot of energy. My husband, 61 years old, horrible back pain, 2 back surgeries in his lifetime, puts a patch on, and in 3 days, he has a result, and he does not have any pain. He thought it was a fluke. I said, oh no, it works. We just have to keep doing it. And then as time went on, 6 months later, he had, we think, a torn rotator cuff. Maybe he had to have surgery, but he got total repair. He has full movement with his arm. So it's been life-changing for us. So this is why we love to share, and we can't stop talking about it. We can't stop sharing.
Okay. Okay, Jacinda, tell us about your story.
Hello, so I am from the southwest suburbs of Illinois, and I am a homeschooling mother of 3, among other things as well. And I was over-medicated. I had eczema. I was over-medicated, have what is now known as topical steroid withdrawal, which is not acknowledged by medical professionals, excuse me. Yeah, I just really struggled going to doctors. They thought I was a hypochondriac. They looked at me and they were like, you're healthy. There's nothing wrong with you. What are you saying? But anyways, it's something that I've struggled with for 8 years. I met these lovely ladies at a vendor fair about a couple months ago in about March, I believe. And I struggle with insomnia. And Patty put the patch on me, and that evening I was able to sleep very well. And insomnia it's very difficult when you have insomnia in our mother of 3. So this technology, I saw that it worked. I saw that it was effective, and I know a lot of other people in my family that could benefit from it. So that's how I got into it.
Oh, okay. So you guys have all experienced the results of the patch. So tell us, tell the audience, when you are dealing with health issues, where does the patch actually go? Do you put it on the actual part of the body that hurts, or how does that work?
Well,
One of you,
like
Dr.
this.
Wong, you can
I
go
don't know if
ahead
you can
and
see this. It's the patch looks like this. If you can
yes,
see
I
it.
can see
It's
it.
wearable. Okay, you can place it anywhere on your body. It's non-narcotic, so it is a non-transdermal patch. No drugs enter the body. It works off of a frequency of light. So infrared light or body heat activates the patch, very similar to when you go out in sunlight and vitamin D gets activated. So sunlight hits the body, it says specific biochemical reaction occurs within the body, vitamin D gets activated. The same thing with this patch. So what we're doing is we're activating, a frequency of light. We're upregulating a specific copper peptide that influences stem cells. And people get amazing results. We're talking about reduction in pain. We're talking about mental focus and clarity. We're talking about rapid wound healing, just a plethora of different things that people can experience. And we can go on and on and on about stories. And I do have one that just kind of dear to my heart. I have a veteran of many years. Okay. He had experienced just total body pain, he told me. I'm sure he had aches or pains that he just really didn't tell me about. He put on the patch one night. He told me he woke up the next day, his feet didn't hurt. 4 days into it, total body pain had greatly reduced so that he took himself off of his ibuprofen, 800 milligrams that he was taking several times a day. He said his anxiety went down. He could breathe easier. It's just on and on of different things that had happened to him. He went ahead and shared the patch technology with his mother. His mother is 85. She says she's got aches and pains all over. She woke up the next morning and she says, Jim, my hands don't hurt, my arms don't hurt. He says, Mom, I didn't know you had achy arms or hands. And she said, Jim, I don't tell you everything that hurts, but I can tell you my hands and my arms don't hurt anymore. And that was just a short time on the technology.
Wow, that's amazing. And so I remember when I was there, it was 2 patches. What's the difference between the patches?
Well,
Or is it
X39,
based?
X39 is our go-to patch. We call that the patch to rule them all. It is the patch that activates the stem cells for repair or regeneration. So when we go ahead and use other support patches, we happen to may have used the Eon patch on you. Okay, it will boost the effects of X39. Now, X39, you don't have to use more than that. Sometimes people will only use X39 and will get they will get those same results. But like I
Okay.
said, we do have support patches that will help get a result quicker, or will help boost the effects of our stem cell activation patch X39.
Now, how many patches do you actually carry? How many
So
different
they've got
ones?
maybe about 5 or 6 different ones, okay? But we
Okay.
like to keep it simple. Okay, so by keeping it simple, it's X39, and maybe we might couple it with another patch. And I really love the Eon patch. We call it the dynamic dual because it does so much. Okay. Mhm.
Now, what is the determination of, and any one of you guys can answer this, what's the determination of like which patch to use? How do you guys determine what
So
patch to
typically,
give to the client?
we talk to when we work with people, we always want to get to know them a little bit. So what's going on with them? So someone will say, "Oh, I have a neck pain or my shoulder hurts," and so then we say, "Well, what's your pain level?" And we have actually have a form that they fill out, and they can check off some things if they want, reduce pain and inflammation, if they are looking for better sleep. So we're always asking them, what do they want? What results are they looking for? And then we know which ones to use. So we always start with the X39. That's the main patch, the go-to patch. So the patches are made to be worn 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Drink a lot of water, and be patient because you will get your result. So the clinical studies were done, and there are 2 placements for the patches, and that's where we usually start out with. But like Dr. Cathy said, we can place them anywhere, but the clinical
Okay.
actually show the 2 placements. But and they do align with the meridians for acupuncture. So and the owner and inventor David Schmidt he's a scientist. So everything he has all the clinical studies. He's got all the data to back the efficacy of the product, and they do work. You just have to be patient, and you will get your result. Not sure what you want, but eventually it will come all together. So I have a great story. A friend of mine had well, it's what you she had a shingles, and she had it for 6 months, suffered horribly, itching and in pain. And I had actually put the patch on her, the X39, and I put an Eon. So she wore X39 in the day, Eon at night. And the next day she called me. She said, "Patty, I don't itch anymore." She said, "It's wonderful." So that was the first time in 6 months that she actually got some type of relief. So for me, that was just a miracle. And I was so excited and happy. And so that really made me think, wow, I just have to keep sharing. I just have to keep telling people what's going on. I can't stop because that just, one person like that, if I could help one person feel a lot better, then that was worth it to me. So that was one of the stories I had.
Yeah, because the young lady I was with that day, with mentioning her name, we were together and she was in severe pain that
Mm.
day. And I remember her saying, "Oh my God, my pain is gone." And I thought that really made me say, I really need to bring you guys on the show because
Definitely. Hmm.
she talked about the results of it while I was right there in real life form. And so what was amazing was the fact that you guys came and you definitely checked on her, and I think her husband was with her and he had pain and he experienced the same relief. But what I love the most is that it was better than ibuprofen all the time. And that was that was a tremendous help for her,
Now we want to keep
to
in mind
not to
that,
be able to do that. Yeah.
and we want to keep in mind that, not everybody's different. Okay. And we always say that about 90% of people can't feel repair. 10% of people, we call them one patch wonders. And when they put the patch technology on, they feel something almost immediately. Okay, but you know what? Stem cells will go to an area of the body because the body has a list of priorities, and stem cells will go to an area where it's needed the most. So if there's a tissue, gland, or organ that needs immediate repair, that's where you're going to see the stem cells going, the patch technology working. Okay, so like you said, if you're patient, you're consistent with your patching, okay, and you stay hydrated and drink plenty of water, you will get your results. I mean, I can cite another story too. A gentleman wore the patch technology for his shoulder. After a few months, the shoulder pain went away. He stopped wearing it. And his wife said, well, why did you stop wearing it? You have less energy. You're not in as good of a mood as you used to be. So he started up on it again. He reported after 6 months, he had gone to the doctor when he first started using the technology, and he had an eye condition in one eye where there's a lot of pressure. And in the other eye, it was the condition that typically has a lot of people will go blind with that particular condition as they age. 6 months into the patching, he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, three doctors said, you know what? If we had not known what was going on prior to you coming in to see us, I would not believe this, but there's no evidence of any eye disease in either eye. So we fast forward another 6 months. So we're 12 months into it. Same thing, no evidence of disease in either eye. So the technology works, but again, we've got to be patient. Okay, not everybody can feel repair. Not everybody gets the same results immediately. But if he had stopped after that 90 days or that 3 months, he would not have gotten his miracle story.
Hmm. So my question to you is, as we proceed, what, how long do you actually have to wear the patch? Is it forever, or tell us more about that?
Patty, you want to take that question?
It's a great question. So we say as long as you want to feel good, then we use the technology. It's kind of like a daily vitamin or even exercise. So when you're exercising, you feel good. So if you started feeling good, you wouldn't stop exercising, would you? You would just continue to do what you're doing. So we continue to patch as long as we want to feel good and feel healthy. That's what we do. We'll wear the patch. But that's
And
a great.
so wouldn't most people want to know, if I have to continue to wear the patch, what is the root cause to my illness?
Okay, so this is what happened to me. So I did have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, even high sugar. So using the technology, I had some blood work done before patching, and then probably about 10 months in, a year in, I had some more blood work. Well, a lot of my numbers came down. Eventually, a year and a half later, all my numbers are normal. So I had a high sugar level of 6.3, now it's 5.5. So the proof is in the pudding with the, so the blood work is also another form, to check on where you're at. So we kind of recommend, we have a tracker sheet. We have a sheet where people can actually track what they were like before, first day in, 1 week in, 2 weeks in, a month. And so that's a great way to kind of see, what's going on. And then we always recommend to work with your physician. So I always tell my doctor what I'm doing, and he knows what I'm doing. And eventually what I'd like to do is have a reduction, which I actually have had a reduction in some of my meds, and eventually I just like to get off of my meds. And so that's actually my goal. So
Okay.
yeah.
Now you mentioned that, energy. Have all of you guys experienced that burst of energy?
I would have to say yes. I mean, I have more even energy throughout the day, and it's more of a feeling of well-being, might be a good way of putting it. So, when people are typically healthy, they take a lot of supplements, they may not be able to necessarily feel the effects, necessarily. But as you start to maybe think about things, I mean, I am not a person that has a problem sleeping, but I notice I have a better quality of sleep. Maybe I have
Okay.
deeper sleep. Okay, I'm not worried really about my hair, but I have fuller hair. That wasn't necessarily something that I was looking to get. Okay, but so again, everybody has a specific maybe checklist of what they want. Okay, so one of the things that I always think about is, we know we're getting older, but do we really want to look it? Do we really want to feel it? Nor do we want it to cramp our lifestyle?
Right.
This technology will bring about reverse aging. So David Schmidt is committed to 100% aging reversal. He's at 33% right now with the patch technology. We are getting ready to launch another exciting aspect of LifeWave. It's light infused water, and I know that'll take us to another level of age reversal.
Wow. When does that come out?
That should be coming out sometime in July or August of this year. We've
Oh,
been
okay.
waiting for it for several months.
And so what is it going to do? Like, tell us more about it.
Well, we don't have a lot of information. We get snippets and bits and pieces.
Okay.
But what it does is he's actually discovered a specific type of metal, not any metal that is known to man right now. And what it will do is it will infuse light into water because he's got a filter. Okay, and this water will bend the oxygen to the hydrogen angle. Okay, and what it will do is it will bring energy to areas of the body that maybe typically won't get there. So we see amazing, amazing healing capabilities with this technology. And as we start to, as it comes on out and people start to use it, we're going to have so much more stories, anecdotal information in the field as to how this technology is helping other people.
And so how long has this been around? This technology.
So the company's been around 20 years. Okay.
Okay.
And he started out with, he got a contract with the Navy SEALs to make something that they could sustain their mini subs and their missions with no drugs. So he actually invented an energy patch. And from that technology, he had a couple more support patches, but it took him about 15 years. And in 2019, he was able to launch X39. So it took him about 15 years to create the X39 patch, the technology. But and that is really the patch that has put the company over the top. So we're a huge this is the second year in a row. We're the largest in this industry, fastest growing company in the industry, 2 years in a row. So
Now, is this patch made for children as well? And why would children actually use it?
Well, the technology, like anything else, has never been tested on children. Okay, but
Okay.
when you go into the field and you start to see how people are utilizing the technology, okay, they are using it on children. We're seeing amazing results. I have a friend, she's a pediatrician, Dr. Annabelle. Dr. Annabelle has used this technology on her little girl for the last several years. It could be a bee sting, it could be a scraped knee, it could be a little bit of a scratchy or sore throat. And she sees amazing results with this technology. So what's happening is that more and more people are starting to go ahead and use it on kids. Okay. So we always talk about when you're putting the technology on someone that young, we want them to be able to be verbal, to be able to communicate with you as to how they're feeling. Okay. So again, LifeWave and its brand partners, we don't go ahead and say we can go ahead and diagnose something, we can treat something, we can cure something. But when we see amazing results with a non-narcotic, non-transdermal technology, people get so excited about the results.
Now, you mentioned that a scraped knee, what would the patch go? Because if it's open, if it's an open wound, where would you put the patch?
You could put it near the knee.
Okay.
You can put it near the scrape. I mean, I've actually had maybe how you're doing something and maybe you burn yourself. Well, I'll take the patch and put it
Yes.
right on that area, and immediately that sting goes away. So there's a lot of
Hmm.
application. It just you just kind of listen to your body and kind of since the patch can be placed almost anywhere, and it can be placed on clothing and doesn't necessarily need to be directly on skin. So there's a lot of options that are available.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. And so, although does it heal it faster? Is it because it's gonna heal?
It does. We do
Okay.
have there is an article that was recently published on PubMed.gov, and it talks about the X39 and how it increases wound healing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
wow.
had a friend of mine, she's 78. She actually got a paper cut. She put the X39. She says, I'm just going to put it right there. She puts it on there, and within a day, the next day, it was gone. So it actually had healed. And that's someone at 78. And we know as we age, we don't heal as well as we did when we were younger. So someone that age to heal that quickly, it's amazing. I've been out and about. I'm cooking at home. I burn myself. I'll take that patch, put it right there on the burn. Immediately I'll have results. Either the pain goes down. It's just amazing I can't tell you how many times we've done different things, and we just experiment with the patches. We're putting them here, putting them there, and the results we get are simply amazing.
I would love to see if it will work on, I would want to know if it will work on, bed sores. I would often wonder if that will be a place that,
I'm sure we have a story about that. I feel that the technology, and also it does depend on the person too, because we know everyone's different. But so stores like that, I've heard of wound healing, rapid wound healing. I know someone who had a knee surgery. She had her knee replaced, and she had been patching probably 3 months prior to the surgery. Then she had the surgery, and when she went to therapy, the therapist could not believe. They're like, "Well, what are you doing here? Because you're about 6 weeks in. Even though it's 2 weeks here with therapy, it's almost like she had been in therapy for 6 weeks." So, but that's the patch. That is because she was using the technology. So definitely.
okay. And so, awesome. Good to know. So stem cell healing is huge then.
It is. And
It's,
the part I love about it is they're your own stem cells, because we've heard stories about people getting injections, and injections are
Mhm.
costly. They're not guaranteed, and then you don't really know if they are your own stem cells. But we know with our technology, it is your own stem cells. So your body is actually healing itself. Your body is an amazing machine. It has the capability to actually heal itself. So that's really what is going on. Your body is actually healing itself, bringing you back to
Okay.
a younger, healthier you.
Okay. And so what have we not talked about that you guys want to share? Anybody?
Hmm. Well, I think that maybe sometimes when people don't get the results they're looking for,
Mhm.
they stop patching.
Okay.
Okay. And that's one of the things that you will not get a result unless you're consistent. So I do have someone that I know had shoulder pain. She wanted the shoulder pain to go away, but she didn't get that. She got better sleep at night. She went from a 2 to 4 hour sleep to a full night, 6 hours of sleep. She had better skin texture, and people were commenting on that. But she stopped the patching because she didn't get that what she wanted. So the key thing here is even if you don't get the immediate result, you want to continue and be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I
Because
wonder
you,
if do you think it's because it's going after what's needed first?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stem cells are smart bots. They will go and do repair where is needed first. If it's the heart, the liver, the kidneys. So I have a great story. Somebody she wanted something for her shoulder, and so she'd been patching, and her whole family was getting a result. Her sister, her brother, but she was not. She still had that shoulder pain. Unbeknownst to her, she actually had something on her thyroid, and so the doctors had taken an X-ray. They said it's there. Let's try to remove it. She did not want to have it removed, so she continued to patch. She still didn't get her arm to the pain in her arm, but she went back to get another consult with the doctor, and the doctor's eyes were wide open and could not find the lump that was on her thyroid. So the long story is short is, if she had stopped patching, she might not be here today, because if she had stopped patching, she wouldn't have gotten the result with her thyroid. Eventually, she did get her shoulder to be repaired, but she just had to be patient. So, sometimes you don't always get to pick the fix. So the stem cells, those stem cells have priorities. They will go to do, the repair where it's needed most. And
Okay.
in her case, that's what happened.
Okay.
If I may, my
And
mother has also had results. She has nerve pain in different areas of her body, and she has seen some relief from that nerve pain as a result of using the patches. And to your point about that wonderful young lady that we patched at the event, that's the beautiful thing about being a part of this company in this organization, is being a part of people's health journeys and seeing them get seeing them lessen their medication or whatever it may be. It's beautiful to see people heal naturally instead of being over medicated. So it's wonderful to be a part of people's journeys in that way.
Awesome. And the body is so complex. Everybody is going to experience it different. So you never know what the results may be. And so I just thank you guys so much for sharing what you guys do. And if you had one thing, each of you, to say to the audience that, one piece of advice that you would give the audience, what would it be? We'll start with you, Dr. Wong.
Well, when someone shares the technology, keep an open mind. Be open to whatever information is there and learn about what it is and see if it's something that would work for you. I believe this technology is for everybody, but like anything else, not everybody is open to learning, or not everybody is open to something that is more in the wellness realm. Okay, when people get caught in the pharmaceutical merry-go-round, it's sometimes very difficult to get off. So people have to be able to step outside of that and go ahead and keep an open mind, because this type of technology is just coming at us from all different ways. I mean, the health and wellness industry is a $1 trillion industry, and more and more people are gravitating towards that. So I would just say, keep an open mind, learn more about it. It works for everybody. It will work for you.
Okay.
So we're not in the
Jacinda.
business to sell patches. We like to inform people, then they can make their own decision. So definitely, we have a lot of information out that we can share with people. But I say be consistent, be patient, and open-minded, and you'll get your result. So that's really how I feel. I just think, and this is something that not a lot of people maybe have heard about. It's frequency medicine, and they're not really sure. But I say just be educated. And here's the other thing: try it. What do you have to lose? It's your own health. You need to take care of yourself, otherwise nobody else will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacinda.
I would have to say that this technology is all encompassing. If you're struggling with it, try it out. See if it works for you. Or if you're not struggling. My husband is relatively healthy. He is healthy, works out very often. And is just he's amazing. But he's passed a few days and he's like, man, that really helped with my muscle recovery. And he's like, I went extra hard in the gym today, tried to see how the patch worked. And I put the patch on.
Okay.
I'm not experiencing any fatigue or anything, any aches like I normally would. So try it out, see how it is for you.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you guys talked about how it helps some people's mental health. Tell us more about that.
It can. Okay, so when you talk about stress on the body, okay, the body really doesn't know the difference between chemical stress, mental, emotional stress, or physical stress. It's just basically stress. So when you give this body support, okay, in different ways, okay, people are going to feel better. When people don't hurt, they have more energy. When people have more energy, they move around. Things happen. Okay, I've heard people that they may lose some weight. They're sedentary because they hurt. So all of a sudden they're moving around, they don't hurt. In essence, it brings that happiness, that good feeling, when good things
Serotonin and dopamine, huh?
happen. Absolutely.
So the patches actually are designed to bring you to balance, homeostasis. That's really the goal, is they will actually bring you back to balance, mentally, physically, all around.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for sharing this technology with the audience, and I will definitely put the links in the audience for them to reach out to you. But is it how do they find out about, like, how do they see, like, if you were to have them, if they were interested, what would be your onboarding process to get them to see what this technology is all about?
Well, they can certainly contact us if you'll put our, contact information, in this chat. They can certainly reach out to us. We have a
Absolutely.
Facebook page, Wild Orchid Health. Okay, they can also, reach out to us in that way. They may be able to do a direct message to us. But definitely, if you have a link that you can, put there, we have emails, we've got cell phone numbers. Definitely, we would be more than happy to reach out to anybody, answer their questions, get them the information they need, and actually share the technology and let them sample a patch.
Right, exactly. And we want to make sure that they would reach out to us because we will make sure that they get wholesale pricing. So definitely, if they're interested, they would need to reach out to us because we want to make sure they get the best and the support that they need to as well.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed having you guys. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to bring and technology, new technology to the audience to see what this is all about. I would definitely put your links in the um the actual video and the comments. And I just want to thank each and every last one of you guys for coming on the podcast today and embracing us with your presence and taking out the time to explain what this technology is and what it does. That's very helpful. And I'm sure to the audience, if you find that someone you know would can use this patch, please share this video. I promise you, you'll be helping someone else. It may not be, even if it's not for you, share with someone you think that can get some relief from ibuprofen and not have to take it long term, because I promise you, ibuprofen long term will mess your liver up. And so if people are having trouble sleeping, what do they have to lose? So I would say reach out and reach out and find out how can you try this out. And that way share the video and they will be able to find out how they can try this technology out with repairing stem cells. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on, and thank you audience for listening. We are signing off.